Hello, hello. This is J Goddess with J Goddess Tarot, and I wanted to bring this video to you all because this is a concept that I have personally felt challenged by and struggled with, even as a reader. And I got a new perspective on it the other day, and I feel that many of you out there listening, this may help you as well if you're struggling with it. So, the question I have today is, what is divine timing? Now, you often hear this in tarot readings, especially as it relates to maybe your next relationship or meeting your soulmate or twin flame, etc. It could be with a career change, it could be with some type of breakthrough happening in your life. It could be a multitude of things, but usually when you hear it in a reading, it is in relationship to relationships. So I know my perception has always been, divine timing is trusting in the universe, trusting in divine timing, trusting in God's timing, that something will happen at its appointed time. And that concept always used to upset me to some extent, kind of make me feel powerless. Now, total transparency, I am a type A individual. I'm very driven. I'm very goal oriented. I feel many of you in my collective can resonate with that. If I want something, I like to sit down, make a strategic plan on how to get it, and then work my plan until I get it. Of course, have some wiggle room in the plan because shifts do happen, things happen, being able to pivot, but overall, having a plan of how I'm going to execute and get this thing that I want. So hearing readers say, oh, it will happen when the universe, perfectly timed in the universe, it will show up when you're ready, was always a little aggravating to me because it made me feel very powerless. And in truth, we cannot force things to happen. I do believe that. However, it kind of made me feel like I just have to sit here and twiddle my thumbs. So I heard a reader say this the other day, and it totally changed my idea about divine timing and my part in it. So what I heard a reader say was, you might think that divine timing is just the static thing in the future, but it's more than that. So the way they put it was to think of divine timing as a frequency, like a radio frequency. And if you're at all familiar with law of attraction or any of those other concepts, this isn't going to be super foreign for you. So it's like, think of it, and we know in divine timing, we know in the 5D that time doesn't mean the same thing as it means to us in the 3D. Time is a construct of man, so we can measure things, but things on different planes don't go by man's timing. So when this reader said, think of it as fluid and flux and think of it as a frequency, it clicked for me. So timing, divine timing, prior to hearing that, I felt like, I'll use an example. I felt that something that I wanted maybe 5 years away, and I'm just here frustrated, waiting for this thing to happen in 5 years, right? Let's use a relationship or something. And I felt very powerless. Hearing that explanation from someone else and thinking of divine timing as a frequency made a lot of sense. She said it's fluid and timing is always in flux. And I said, okay, so it changed my thought processes to be, okay, if something that I want is, like, say, a relationship, it's 5 years down the line. However, if I trust in divine timing, and that means I say, okay, this thing is going to happen when it's divinely guided to occur. But for right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to manifest this thing I want. That's an action that's changing your frequency. I'm also going to work on other parts of my life that I recognize need my attention, so I'm ready for that thing. For example, in the example I'm using, I could say, hey, I need to work on my self-healing from previous relationships so I don't take any of that gunk and garbage into my next relationship. Or I really need to work on my career and business, because those are things that are important to me. So, say for instance, um, I have a couple degrees already, but say for instance, in that example, I say, hey, I want to go to college and I need to get some degrees in order to get the type of job I want. So, as I'm waiting for this, I'm actively waiting. I'm not twiddling my thumbs waiting. What's going to happen in that example if I were to start working on the other things in my life that require my attention so I can be at my best? My vibration is going to change. But what happens is the universe, the frequency, that thing that you want is on there, that vibration is going to adjust a bit too to match your new vibration. Think of it kind of like chess, but not in the form of you're trying to beat somebody. You're not trying to beat the universe and the universe isn't trying to beat you. But when you move, when your vibration changes, when your energetic vibration changes, the universe moves. So as I am, an example I'm using is I am working on going to school, working on self-healing, working on self-growth, I'm going to be a happier person. I'm going to be a more fulfilled person within and of myself. And I keep down that path, still working on manifesting the great relationship I say I wanted in the example I'm using. So what at the beginning may have started out as truly being 5 years in the future, as I'm engaged in activities to change my own vibration, not to get that thing, but to be whole within myself, my vibration is changing. The universe's vibration is changing on this thing that I'm continuing to manifest to match me, to be in alignment with that. So I continue on that path of activities, and just for the sake of ease, that thing that I wanted, that I originally thought was 5 years down the road, I get into all of these activities and get that momentum going, feel good about myself. By the end of a year, and I'm consistently engaging in these activities, at the end of 1 year, I could be an energetic vibrational match to what I said I wanted. Let's say this relationship. So in the example, I'm doing my self-work, I'm doing my self-healing, I'm, going to pursue a higher education, going to pursue a trade. I may then cross paths with my future person, and that happened in a year versus when I first started, I was not engaged in any activities that were positively impacting my vibration. So there was a huge disconnect about where I was and the thing I said I wanted was at in terms of energetic frequency. But me engaging in these activities that are good for me, that are uplifting to me, that are helping change my vibration for me so I can be better in the world, it's going to raise my vibration, and then the universe is going to respond. So I'm here to say divine timing does mean exactly that. Things will happen when they're ready. But understand, timing is fluid and timing is always in flux. So you can impact, you cannot force. Please understand what I'm saying. You can impact, I believe, this is just my perspective. Please don't grow me in the comments. I do believe you can impact divine timing by doing things on your end that help you become a better vibrational match to the things you say you want. Will it happen overnight? No. I don't believe, possible. I can't say it won't. In my personal experience, in my limited experience, I don't think it can happen overnight for big things, because it's possible, but not very probable. Let's put it that way. I feel it takes time to shift our energy, to raise our energetic frequency in a sustainable way. Now, yes, it can happen overnight. There are some people that are able to shift their energy very quickly. But I feel for most of us, we have to strategically go about doing that through consistent activities that help us be better, whatever that looks like for you. Another great example is, say, there's a certain lifestyle you want, there's a certain things you want to do, and you feel it's this far down the line. That may be the case the first time you think of it or really, meditate on it. But if you start doing activities toward what you want to do, number one. Number two, you start engaging maybe in some law of attraction exercises. That's by no means required. I know that people have different opinions on that, but if that's what you do, get consistent about those practices, but also get consistent about the actions that you take to better yourself, to raise your own frequency, as well as to work towards your goal. I feel that the divine timing is going to shift. So do I think there's truly some things that have a set time they're going to happen? Yes, I do. However, I don't believe most things in our lives have that, okay, you can't find a relationship for 5 years. It's like, no, when you, like the old Chinese proverb, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. I believe that can apply to divine timing. When you are ready, and ready isn't about being perfect, and I don't feel that it's a punitive measure from the universe. What I feel is if you would get something necessarily when you want it, it may not work out because you may not be ready for it. If it involves other people, the other people may not be ready for it, and it would probably not be as successful as it could be. Versus if you do whatever your self work is, whatever your activities are, so you can become sustainably, consistently a higher energetic match toward this thing that you say you want, I feel it will come more quickly to you. So for those of you who felt like me, that divine timing made you feel a little powerless and sometimes maybe a little irritated when you heard that, I hope this was helpful to you in some small way to have maybe a different perspective and shift your paradigm a bit about divine timing, what it means, how you can play a role in it, in this from the perspective of doing things differently to raise your own vibration. So then the universe can make the chess move, because it's always constantly going to match or align to your vibration. So I hope this made you feel empowered. It definitely made me feel empowered when I thought about it from this perspective and heard a reader say that. And I really have been wanting to make this video because I really hope it helps someone else and feel encouraged, feel positive, and maybe not feel so powerless the next time they hear that, and truly have a different viewpoint from which to understand divine timing. So that's my little spiel for today. This is J Goddess Tarot. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I post new content. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. If you have a similar take on divine timing or how it's made you feel in the past, check out my links also to see my link to my Instagram, link to my Amazon wish list, and a link to my Patreon, or a High Vibe Tribe, where I post exclusive readings. I post too spicy for YouTube readings. I post tutorials with practical steps to allow people to develop in areas of intuition, etc. And I really hope that this was useful for you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.